Welcome to
What?
The game.
To me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What the Game Means to Me. Special edition this morning. We're gonna go through college, some major college games from yesterday. Then some big NFL games today. Of course, I got my co-host with me today. Thad, how you doing, bro?
What's good with y'all? Glad to be here. Glad to talk about some more sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, we'll just hop right into it. I know everybody's gonna be ready for the 1:00 game soon. So, first thing on our itinerary today, we got major college game recaps. There's a few big college games yesterday. The Big Ten actually started to play. So the first game I wanted to hit on was Ohio State. Being they were 6th ranked, everybody was pretty much looking forward to them and Justin Fields playing this year. Luckily, they have been able to come into the fold and play with the rest of the teams, SEC, ACC, and other conferences as well. So just first impressions, what you thought. That I didn't actually catch too much of the game. I saw most of the highlights, and I know Justin Fields had a really good game. But just your first impressions and kind of what you thought.
As a quarterback, I key into the quarterback's watch at every little detail for the most part. I feel like he had a good game, pretty much a perfect game. He had one incompletion. I didn't see how the incompletion came, but he had a great game. And Ohio State will be right back in the driver's seat. That's what it looks like. And it just seems like their receiver room is, I don't know, they reload every year. Like they just lost a couple of players, and then they have true freshmen and young sophomores coming in making plays. So the future looks bright. They started off slow, but Nebraska's not a terrible team. But yeah, they started off slow, but they came on strong, and they look pretty good. And you got to think about it. They had time off. They weren't even preparing for a season. They had practice, but they didn't think they were going to play. So they look better than most teams for having all that time off.
Exactly.
And Justin Fields, I think he's going to lock up over the course of these 10 games. He's going to lock up the number 2 pick. Not the number 2 pick, the number 2. He's going to be the number 2 QB in the draft.
Okay. Yeah,
that's what he's being a little bit disrespected by those other quarterbacks trying to bring Trey Lance into the fold and stuff. Yeah. But I think he's the clear-cut number 2.
Yeah, and that's what the consensus was. After the end of last year, pretty much Trevor and then him. And we'll get to Trevor later on into the show. But I kind of get all my Ohio State news from you'll meet him later on. But Jeff and Mo from the Off the Ball Network as well. They're big Ohio State fans, and pretty much I was just reading whatever they were saying yesterday. And I know Jeff, he wasn't too happy with the the win that they had with 35-point win. I think most of his concerns was on the defensive end. I think they lost I don't know if it was linebackers and secondary guys. Of course, they lost. I know they lost Jeff Okuda and
they still have Sean Wade though.
Yeah, but they still got he's gonna be first round draft pick this upcoming year. But I guess that was most of his concern. This probably was like you just said early on, because I know they got off to a slow start. But then pretty much piled it on towards the end, even scoring that last touchdown in the last few seconds of the game. But like I said, I heard Justin Fields had a really good game, like you said, through one completion.
20 for 21.
Yeah,
3 touchdowns, I think.
Yep. Exactly. So he came on strong, had a great debut. So I mean, we already know they're number 1 in that conference. They're pretty much everybody's chasing after them. Even though Michigan did have they had a pretty good game yesterday as well.
Yeah, I had money on them, so I watched the entire game. They look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I was about to say. They actually look pretty good as well. And but for them, it's just having to get over that hump because they can never beat Ohio State. Yeah. And then they've been losing to Michigan State too the last few years. So it's who knows where that's gonna go. But like I said, everybody's chasing Ohio State in this in that division, Big Ten. So it'll be interesting to see. And like I said, I'm glad they been able to come into the fold, because now we get to see. Well, with them in Pac-12, we'll get to see like the full course of a college, not full course of a college season, but we'll have all the teams necessary to basically dictate the college playoff versus I'm from North Carolina and everything. And obviously I watch UNC football, but I'm a Gator fan. But them being number 5 last week and then losing to your team, I forgot to even tell you about that, or not tell you, but talk to you about that. That was just crazy. Like the UNC, they've been playing okay. They have a strong offense, but a weak defense. Yeah, but exactly. I was like, there just wasn't enough teams in there. They're not a number 5 type.
Like you got to throw. So. I'm not saying a Pac-12 team will make the college football playoff, but there's going to be 1 or 2 that will be in the mix for the top 10. Like
exactly.
Utah, Oregon. For right now, that's about it.
Yeah, but, exactly. But I was like, hopefully, everything still goes according to plan. You know, with football, and we talked about on one of the other podcasts. There's been a lot of a little less in college football, a lot more in the NFL, but it's been cases just randomly popping up with players and staff and everything having COVID, and then postponing games and everything. Had to postpone another Gator game this week, and I think Georgia's game got postponed as well. So hopefully, like I said, these new teams coming in the fold, everything is able to stay on track for the rest of the year. But another game I wanted to, I guess, recap or talk about was Penn State, Indiana. Of course, they had a crazy finish. They had a wild finish as well. Most people had Penn State, should have easily handled that game, but Indiana showed there weren't any slouches. I guess I just wanted to ask you, touchdown or no touchdown? Because I mean, obviously, it don't matter for us because it already got ruled a touchdown. But I still didn't think it was a touchdown. Honestly.
I don't either, bro. Like, I feel like there's a little space in between the ball and the pylon when he was stretched out.
Exactly, and I think the side or tip of it touched the ground before he hit the pylon. So I was like, there's no way they're going to count that as a touchdown.
What was the call on the field? I wasn't watching the game.
I think the call on the field was a touchdown. So I guess
so I think that's the reason why they didn't overturn it. It was too close. And that was literally the game deciding play. So they had to stick with what they called on the field. That's what I think from the referee's point of view. That's why I think they stuck with it.
Exactly.
But Penn State could have avoided that. They were up 1 with the ball with 1:40 left, and Indiana had no timeouts. And I understand as a running back, you're trying to get your tub, but if you just fall down, the game's over. They can run the clock out. They can't even touch the ball. And they went down the field in a minute, tied the game, got the 2-point conversion. And
that's all she wrote. Yep. But pretty much just like you said, it's like I guess that just I'm about to say they don't come with game experience. It's kind of to me, I'd be thinking it's just kind of like common sense. But like I guess that kind of shows the layoff that they had, maybe just excited coming into the first game, big conference or in-conference game. And, just a slip of a lapse of the mind could just change the whole course of a game. Like you said, he trying to get his yards, try to pad his stats, and end up costing his team in the long run. Because they was ranked number 8.
And they have Ohio State next week, so it's not looking good.
At all. So that's 0-2 start, and they only playing 7 or 8 games.
Something like that.
So literally their season is probably done. Like off of
next week. They're a solid team, so we'll see what they got.
Exactly. And then next game I wanted to hit on real quick was which not really mainly because of the game, but just kind of what Nick Saban said. But Alabama, Tennessee. I guess wanted to talk about, of course, Waddle's injury, but first I guess we could talk a little bit about the game. I watched it a little bit in the beginning when it was another slow start of a game. I think Alabama was only up 7-0, and then eventually I looked back at it again. It was 28-10, something like that. But Tennessee hung in there a little bit in the first half. Yeah, but they did as much as a Tennessee team could do. But just kind of your thoughts, what you saw, and then like I said, we'll get to the Nick Saban comments on the injury here.
About the game, Alabama looks good. Mac Jones looks really good. He's from Jacksonville, so I've always kept an eye on him. And people had their doubts about him coming in replacing Tua, but he's looked the part. He's throwing some dimes. I'm talking about he's not just checking the ball down. He's airing it out, hitting people in stride 50 yards down the field. And then I think Alabama's good. They got Dylan Moses back. Waddle injury is going to hurt them, but I think Michi, I think that's his name. He's been stepping up this year, so he'll fill in nicely. And I think Alabama looks the same. Nick's never satisfied when they allow points or anything, but I feel like this is a solid Alabama team, and they're more from what we've seen in the past. It's totally different. Like Alabama, I feel like their offense first now. Like they rely on offense. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Exactly. I said, I think I said it in a show last week I was on. I said the same thing. I was like, this isn't a normal Alabama team that we're used to, because exactly what you just said. Their offense is what's coming first, and Mac Jones has been a way better quarterback than I was expecting him to come in, like you said, and the way he's been able to replace Tua and honestly take it to a next level. Because like you said, like every game, like I said, they've been playing SEC opponents, obviously, and not all of them have, been slouches. Even with Georgia, even the Georgia team, like every team, basically, all I'm saying, every team that they've played so far, they've put up 40+ points. Like I said, on a Georgia defense, they put up 41. So, like I said, they definitely I don't know if it's his mind state or just like the offensive talent that they've been getting in or always have, honestly. But they definitely have been switching more. So even in the last like 2-3 years when Tua was the head, to a more offensive offensive powered team than I guess known for defense. But like I said, just wanted to hit on, of course, Waddle's out for the year, ankle injury. One of their star receivers. I think they're number one receivers. So Nick Saban said basically it is a travesty. It hurts the team, him. Everybody's kind of devastated. But I believe he was saying basically shouldn't have took the ball out of the end zone. When it was kicked that deep. That caught a lot of people off guard. So kind of like what do you think about that? And
about his comments?
Yeah, just his comments. What
him saying that part at the end maybe made it a little worse than it was supposed to be, but I don't find too much wrong with his comment. He was just being honest. He shouldn't have said it because at the time, like he's out for the end, out for the year. You want him to have sympathy for his player, but it could have been avoided. And then I heard some people out there saying like he shouldn't have been returning kicks, but they don't know in high school and college your best players are going to touch the ball. Like
exactly,
you won't see. Odell doesn't even run kicks back like that anymore because they don't want him getting hurt in the league. But best believe,
when he was at LSU,
Odell, they utilized him to the fullest. Like Waddle has been dangerous in the kickoff game, so why not keep him out there? Like it's football. You can't really avoid an injury. Nobody knew he was going to break his leg on that play. He's returned 100 kicks probably. So just a freak accident. He didn't have the best choice of words saying he shouldn't have taken it out, but I agree. And it's just unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen, but he might stay another year. We don't know.
Yeah, just to help
because he wasn't like a bona fide top 10 pick, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. There's I guess a few other wide receivers that's supposedly ahead of him. What's up? What's up, Steven? Appreciate the love. Another guy from Off the Ball Network. Like I said, I'm sure you'll get to meet him later. But yeah, kind of like you said, it definitely hurts the team overall. But they do have a stout wide receiver room, like you said. Guy was stepping up early, and they also still have Smith. Devontae Smith. So plenty of speed, plenty of firepower on that offense.
And probably, I haven't watched every team in the country, so I don't know who's the best back. But through 5 weeks, Najee Harris has like 14 touchdowns. So
it was like
he's having a crazy year. He has
14
or 15 touchdowns already.
Yeah, him and Etienne, both down pretty much.
Those are first round picks.
Yeah, and probably both of them obviously in the Heisman discussion. Obviously along probably with Trevor and Justin. But like you said, going back on the injury with Nick Saban, like you said, just probably poor choice of words in the moment. Like sometimes you can always get like little sound bites or criticize what coaches say sometimes in like those moments and everything, because it's like just right after adrenaline's rushing, pumping, like half times or going into halftime, you kind of focus on what you're going to say to the players, or after a game you're kind of focused on what you're going to say to them, like what they can do to improve and whatever. It's just kind of like sometimes those interviews kind of like catch them off guard. Like you say, he probably didn't mean it in the worst way, probably meant well by it. Probably something like he might have would have told him, like if he didn't really get injured like that, he probably would like obviously Gio didn't really have to take that out of the end zone. There's going to be times where you're going to have other chances or whatever, stuff like that. But it's just kind of maybe not a slip of the tongue, but just a poor choice of words. And I'm sure he didn't mean it in the worst way. But overall, kind of like I said, sucks for him. I probably do see him coming back this year or next year. Sorry, because like you said, he wasn't the number one bona fide receiver coming out, or the first receiver coming out in the draft. A few others ahead of him. So we'll see. I guess it might be a blessing in disguise, maybe for Alabama and for him. So. Let me see. All right. Let me see. What Steven say? He said it's like a dad when his kids hurt themselves by not listening. Like if you would have listened, you wouldn't have got hurt. Exactly. Pretty much. Just like a father figure. Like obviously that's what Saban is there for. He's coach. He's the GOAT in college space. So just a father figure like comment. So I understand. And then more so not really about the game, even though I guess we could talk about the game a little bit too, because they did have a slow start. I remember at a point it was 21-27. But Trevor Lawrence, and they played not Boston College. They played NC State. Syracuse. My fault. Yeah, Syracuse. But I guess the big thing is I just wanted to stir the pot a little bit. But Trevor Lawrence throwing picks in back-to-back weeks, and then one of them was a pick six yesterday.
Yeah, the one yesterday was a pick six.
Exactly. So kind of just what did you think about that? Do you do you see him taking a step back? Do you see him still, having that solidified number one spot? Do you think, something's going on in his head? Why do you think they had such a slow start yesterday?
For one, for some reason, Clemson, if you notice over the past couple of years, Syracuse has always played them tough. They almost beat them 2 years. No, they beat them when Kelly Bryant was a quarterback, and then they knocked out Trevor Lawrence, and the kid from Grayson came in and won the game. So they've had crazy tough games. But now I don't pay that any attention. Quarterbacks, they throw picks. It happens all the time. Yeah. They expect just because he's Trevor Lawrence, sunshine, number one pick, that he can't make any mistakes. Like, this football. Everybody's going to throw picks. Come on now.
Exactly.
But, yeah, I don't – it happens. Maybe he should have just made the tackle, but I see nothing in – even though he had back-to-back picks and back-to-back weeks and one being a pick six, I see there's nothing. He'll be all right. That's all I got to say. He'll be all right. Sometimes, he's a little overconfident in his ability, so he might try to force something that's not open because he thinks he can get it there, and it might cost him every now and then, but he'll be fine. He has all the tools from what I see.
Yeah, pretty much same thing. Like you said, I did see he did not want to. He won't have no parts of that tackle at the end though. He jogging over there, just let that go. He's like, all right, ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do to stop it. So he let that walk-in touchdown happen. But yeah, I mean, not much here. Of course, I want to just stir the pot a little bit, but. Let me see. Comment real quick. Everyone throws picks. Everybody throws picks. You're right. And you say, I guess it was just a shot because the one last week before that, he hadn't thrown one. I don't know what the stat was. Yeah, exactly.
I saw that. I remember.
It was a crazy number of attempts. So, nothing much into it. Like, it's only second pick of the year anyway, or second or third pick of the year anyway. So, I mean, they still won the game. By over 20 points, came on strong towards the end.
They won't get tested this year.
Yeah, they probably until
they play Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, until Notre Dame. Which I was gonna talk about them, but we probably skipped them. I haven't watched Notre Dame football at all. I just know they had another basically stamped win. They won like 45-3.
The game I watched was when they played us, but they're not that strong.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They always start off everyone's always talking about in preseason rankings and everything, and then eventually towards the season their shine fizzles out. But 100%. That's pretty much college recap. I'm gonna move on, switch over gears to NFL real quick. I know a few games have just started and they've come on. We can talk about our two teams real quick before we hop into some of the more big time games of the day. So of course, your Jaguars, y'all play the Chargers. So what do you think the outcome is going to be?
Herbert's look strong. Our defense does not look good, especially our pass game. We haven't got much pass rush with Josh Allen being out, and Chason hasn't looked the best so far. So I expect us to lose by 10 to 14 points, and Herbert's have a big day. No, I'm just being honest, bro, because we can't cover anybody. And we've been playing against a team with somewhat mediocre receivers. So when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams come out there today, it's only going to get worse. And Herbert, he's looked good. I'm not going to lie. I was one of the people that was somewhat skeptical because I just watched some games like he was missing bad throws, like throwing little 5-yard outs in the ground balls and stuff. But he's looked the part. So I expect us to have another tough L. And there was a word on NFL Network that we might be benching Gardner Minshew. So,
oh wow.
Yeah,
who's y'all backup?
Mike Glennon. So you know what that means. We're getting ready for Trevor, and I wouldn't be mad at it, bro.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Y'all still in tough competition with the Jets. I don't think they're gonna let go of that.
Yeah, I don't think that they have a plan in mind. They're gonna get a draft pick for Sam Darnold, I think, and try to get Trevor because I think Sam Darnold's valuable. But yeah, bro, just to finish that out, we're gonna lose by 10 to 14. Another rough day. I just hope to, hopefully some of the young guys continue to step up. I like seeing them show out every week. DJ Chark, Chenault, James Robinson plays well, and some of our other young guys.
Yeah, so I need James Robinson.
I'm gonna watch our games every week because I'm a diehard fan, but I don't expect much this week.
Yeah, I understand.
The Chargers have struggled to win, but everybody
they've been in every every game they've played though. They've been in it, even though their record might not show how great they've played.
Literally every game.
But every game has come close, like down to pretty much the end, like pretty much almost like the last drive. So and like you said, Justin Herbert has looked good as well. He's been throwing the ball really, really strong.
Really, all the rookie QBs, to be honest.
Yeah,
they look pretty. This is a good class so far.
Yeah, so far, like you said.
Waiting to
But
see
yeah.
Tua soon.
Oh yeah. I should have put. Yeah. Let's see. I wanted
It's
to
next
ask you
week though.
about that. Yeah, I know it's
Next
next
week.
week, but I wanted to ask you about because I think I picked him up in fantasy just because I think I had Fitzpatrick for 1 week because Dak got hurt, but then I had to pick up Tua. But yeah, I forgot. Should have added that in. But what do you think? Steven says Tua time. What because I when I first heard the news, I didn't like it. I
Me
didn't like
neither.
it at
I feel the
all.
same way. Like they
Yeah,
were. Why not let Tua get as many mental reps as he can? The
exactly.
Dolphins were playing better than they had in a long time. They were 3-3. Fitzpatrick
Mm-hmm.
was playing well. He knew his role. Like this is a perfect situation. It wasn't a guy that expected to be the starter. He
Mm-hmm.
knew he was going to get replaced. I don't know. I didn't like it, and I don't think the veterans liked it either because they're trying to win now. Some of them dudes
Yeah.
on 1 year deals. Like we're not thinking about the future. We're thinking about eating right now so we can get to our next contract or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it was just like you said, it's all set up perfectly for Fitz. Like you
Yeah.
said, they're second in the AFC East. They been playing really, really well, coming
Yeah.
off wins against the 49ers, blowout win against the 49ers, and then
Exactly.
another staple win. I mean, it's the Jets, but still it's an NFL
No, they
team.
handled them. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, handled them. So, and then like for it to come in the midst of a bye week and for
I
it to
feel like this
be
was on their
like,
mind.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like literally 2 days after of that, or it might have been 1 day, 1 or 2 days after that win, it's like, and then he was obviously he was truthful, honest about it, coming out saying like, yeah, it definitely hurt. Like he said he thought it was his team. I was like, all right, like
Yeah, when he
like,
said that.
yeah, I was like, all right, it's not your team per se, but it's like, yeah, I can understand you not like seeing this coming in like in the midst of a coming out or going into a bye week. So I don't know. I didn't like it. Like I said, I want Tua to one. I know they've been saying his hip is fine, he's good. And then like you just said, more mental reps. I just felt like this whole year was a sit year for him, and then he can come into next year ready to take the reins and roll on with the team. But I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see because I didn't really see his garbage time last week. But I guess like I said, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe he can take them, to the promised land, have them in contention for a playoff spot. Because the AFC, honestly, this year the AFC has been a lot like way better than the NFC, and typically is always reversed. Like NFC is typically a little bit better than the AFC, because typically with the AFC is like top heavy teams like Patriots,
It's usually
Patriots,
like
Kansas
Steelers,
City, yeah, Steelers and Ravens, and that's just about it. But this year NFC East has been terrible. NFC, well, Falcons have been
NFC West
terrible.
is looking
Yeah,
good.
NFC West is the strongest division, and then I say AFC North. Like those two are the strongest divisions in the NFL.
I can agree with that. Like the Bengals record doesn't. They're
Yeah,
better
because
than the record.
exactly because they've been in every game. So I think maybe one they weren't in, but other than that, every game they've either been leading or in it to the end. So I think they'll come on a little bit later on. Like next year will probably be their year once they get like hopefully they focus more so on defense in that draft.
Yeah, and get them a lineman for sure. A couple linemen.
Yeah, they definitely need that. And as Steven agrees with the best divisions. Appreciate you again for tuning in. But yeah, he said threw that in real quick about Tua. I almost forgot about him. But yeah, guess I'll talk about my Falcons real quick. I know they're on. I don't know if they're winning or not, but I expect this 0-0, of course. I expect us to get a win today, honestly. I'm rolling high on last week, and I feel like we're in prime position to go on a playoff run. We got our weakest part of our schedule now. Playing the Lions this week. Who we play next week? I forgot who we play next week. But I know it's another not that great of a team. And then we play Carolina on Thursday. My fault. Play Carolina on Thursday. We should have beat them the first time, but I think we'll be more prepared this time, even though it's in Carolina. And then I think after that we might play the Raiders, which aren't slouches, but I think it's a winnable game. I think that one might be at home as well. But like I said, I expect a win today. I expect hopefully if Julio and Ridley stay healthy and play like they did last week, we'll be fine. Gurley, like last week, we stuck to the run. This week, if we stick to the run, then he'll have a lot more opportunities. Like last week, we stuck to the run. He only had like 47 yards. But this week, they don't have that great of a rush defense or run stopping defense. So he should be able to get some yards. Should be able to get some carries and gain a little bit more momentum going into Thursday night. The biggest thing I'm worried about is just honestly just staying healthy, because it'd be games like this to where it's on a short week and then everything, like everybody just gets depleted. Like everybody just starts getting injured and stuff like that. But so hopefully, they're able to stay healthy. If we're able to keep Matt Stafford and, the little bit of passing attack that they have under wraps, then we should be fine. We should be able to finish out the game. Then hopefully our defense has another strong performance. I'm expecting at least a touchdown win. If not, I'll say 3 to 4, but somewhere between 3 and 7 point win. Hopefully, like I said, I'll tune in definitely after this. But
yeah, I hope so.
Cause because you put money on them. That's only probably why you hope. Cause other than that, you wouldn't care. You be probably talking shit about us. But
yeah, I don't like the Falcons at all.
Exactly. You gotta eventually you'll switch sides though. Once you see that Jacksonville is not doing too much with their franchise, they gotta change it from the top to the bottom.
That's a lifetime contract, bro. I'm locked in regardless. I told Devin earlier, if we don't win the Super Bowl, I'm still gonna be a fan. It is what it is.
Super Bowl not even in the vision right now. Like y'all ain't nowhere close to that. Y'all got to get to like 6 wins first before any of that.
2025, I'll start thinking about a Super Bowl, I guess.
Nah, y'all short window pass. Y'all had that 1 year, and that's when it was supposed to happen. It didn't happen. So
yeah, that was wild. Everybody was telling me like you're not gonna go right back. It's not as easy to go right back. And then I figured out the hard way.
Because literally next year y'all only had 6 or 7 wins, maybe.
We went 6 and 10, and then we finally realized they act like it took them 3 years to realize that Bortles wasn't the guy.
Yeah, like that was just not a free year. It was just like the very best year that he can possibly put together, and he didn't. Yeah, he really was just like game managing. It was the defense.
Yeah, our defense was just crazy that year.
Yeah, it was ridiculously crazy that year, but. We'll hit on some of the big games real quick before we give our fantasy standouts and then just go through our picks for the week. But one of the big games, Steelers and Titans, both 5-0 teams, both playing really good. Titans more offensively surprising or playing more or basically better, playing better on the offensive side, and that's pretty much surprising. Typically, they're defensive known team, and then with the Steelers, they're just playing good on all 3 levels, in my opinion. So. What do you kind of see from this game? Predictions, outcomes. Who do you think is going to
win? For this one, I have Tennessee in the upset.
Oh, really?
And somewhat of an upset, but I just feel like they're on a roll right now. They've been playing really good football, beating some, I wouldn't say high quality teams, but they've been pretty consistent. And I don't know. I feel like there's not even home field advantage with this game, even if it was in Tennessee because Pittsburgh's fans travel. But I just feel like, I don't know, Tannehill's been making some plays through the air. They're going to depend on the running game and throw when they have to, and they'll just be efficient how they usually are, and they'll get a couple key turnovers on Big Ben. I think he'll finally have his first, somewhat shaky game of the season. It was on the Titans win. I don't know completely why. I just have a feeling that the Titans are going to win. I don't have too much of a reason behind it for this week. It's because they're both 5-0. Like they're both defensive-minded teams. I just feel like the Titans will make a couple more plays this week.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. It could be wrong.
Yeah, honestly, it could go either way. It could swing either way. I'm still going with the Steelers, and I put Steelers. Oh my god, crazy. But I'm going with the Steelers this week. Just because I don't know. I'm just rolling with. And I would never normally say this, but I'm just rolling with Big Ben. Like I said, he's been playing really, really exceptional this year. Their pass attack is great. They got young receivers. James Conner's been playing really well as well. And he's been able to stay healthy. Steven's going with the Steelers as well. We talked about on the show yesterday. We both picked the Steelers, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans do pull it out because all year they've been making. And we saw it last week against the Texans. They just been making timely plays, key plays, and Derrick Henry's in that backfield. But the thing I talked about yesterday is going to be Steelers rush defense versus Derrick Henry. And the one advantage that the Steelers do have over the Titans is the passing attack. The Titans haven't really been able. They've been giving up a lot of fancy, but just points overall, like yardage, catches to the wide receiver corps that they've been facing. And this year they have this week they have a pretty dangerous, trio, as you would say, in Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju Smith. So
even I think over the course of the season, Ebron will be a bigger part of their offense.
Yeah, I was expecting them to come in and be a lot bigger part of the offense because they haven't really had that super dynamic tight end. In their offense with Big Ben. So I was like, all right, because he's almost like a receiver, like
he is
tight end. Exactly. So I was like, I I thought he's definitely gonna come in and surprise a lot more than what he has, but he'll definitely come on later on to the year. This is one thing I didn't know. Bush is out.
Yeah, he
Is
tore
out
his
for
ACL
Pitt.
last week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be. He's definitely like the quarterback of their defense.
That's true.
I mean, he'll be all right, but I'm wondering who they're gonna put on their tight end, Jonnu Smith. He's a very athletic tight end, like one of the fastest tight ends in the league.
Yeah,
and Devin Bush usually takes those type of guys,
exactly.
the nightmares. So we're gonna see who they put out there.
Exactly. But like I was just about to say, like Steven just said, they're still a tough defense though. That front seven is scary, and they're
crazy.
They're their secondary is ridiculous as well with Minka and
they got a little holes. I feel like besides him and Joe Hayden, they have a couple of holes, but their front seven is ridiculous. Like Bud Dupree,
exactly.
They got
Bud Dupree is ridiculously scary.
Bro from PC Ridge, Hayward.
Yeah, Hayward. Yeah, so they're pretty stout, and like I said, I think I also chose them because there's that familiarity, continuity. Like they've been together. The organization is just tight. And their head coach. I'm never going to really bet against him. He's almost like basically not in the same conversation as Bill Belichick, but I just trust that he's gonna have his guys prepared when for a game like this. Like they know this is a pretty big game, especially a staple in the AFC with these two teams being I believe 1-2 right now in the AFC record wise. So they know it's a big game. He knows it's a big game, so he'll have his team in contention or just prepared in condition to win. They'll have some type of plan, hopefully, for Derrick Henry. As much of a plan as you can have, because I think what they're going to do, I would say they're just probably going to dare Tannehill to, beat them with their arm. And as crazy as it sounds, he's proven a lot of people right doing that this year. So
this has been throwing the ball. He's definitely been on point.
Yeah, I would say he's had a really good year. It showed last year, like down the stretch, their playoff run, it wasn't really, a slouch, and obviously they leaned heavily on Derrick Henry during that playoff run, but he's showing that he can also carry the offense this year as well, so that's really good. But like Steven just said, Variable's defensive coach, but the defensive suspect, and that's why I said they have the Steelers have the edge this week. So I think they'll win by a touchdown, if not again field goal, somewhere between 3 and 7 points. They'll win
if they limit Derrick Henry, like you said. If they take him out of the game, Steelers should definitely win this game handily.
Yeah. Then let me see another big game, or a big game in my eyes. I don't know if it's a super big game, but I think it's a big game for the organizations as individuals or as each individual organization. But the 49ers and the Pats.
I knew you were about to say this game. Yeah, this is a big game for sure. First game since the Jimmy G trade and all that.
Yep. Oh yeah, of course. Like Steven brought up yesterday to me, but basically Belichick and Belichick versus Jimmy G. But obviously Belichick wanted to keep Jimmy G. Kraft wanted to keep Brady. But just your thoughts and your predictions on the game.
I'm gonna go with my thoughts first. My thoughts, I don't know. I really don't know. It's another chess match because Kyle Shanahan's. Y'all shouldn't have let him go. Y'all should have. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what we was going to do because he was going to become head coach, and I guess at that time they wasn't about to let go of Dan Quinn, just getting them to a Super Bowl. So.
For this one, I don't know. It's going to be a chess match to see, who just makes better adjustments throughout the game. But I feel like the Patriots will be looking to bounce back because they didn't play well last week. They got beat by a pretty okay Broncos team. The Broncos aren't good, but they have some players.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to bounce back. They didn't have a good outing last week. Cam didn't have his best outing. He threw 2 picks. I think they're both tipped, but they're still picks at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So he'll be looking to bounce back versus a tough 49ers team. And the 49ers are going to be looking to keep up with the NFC West because the Cardinals and Seahawks are going to keep winning, even though they play each other tonight, but they're going to keep winning. So they got to think about catching up in the NFC. But if Jimmy G can, if they can take some timely shots, not rely on him to drop back every play and, get the running game going, I think they have a good chance because their defense, even though they lost Bosa and Sherman, where they don't have Sherman right now, they're a pretty strong defense.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
I said that same thing yesterday. I was like, they're going to have to – this is big win. It's a big game for them because they have to win in order to stay afloat in the AFC West. NFC West because, like you just said, Cardinals they're looking pretty good. I think they only have one game that they looked kind of like the Cardinals, but I had Seattle and Russell Wilson. I had Russell Wilson winning MVP, and I had Seattle going to the Super Bowl versus Kansas City. Those two predictions are still very well alive, and like I said, it could possibly happen. So, personally, like you just said, I said it yesterday, but for Cam, it's big for him in his career because we know. I mean, I don't know if they'll re-sign him to another 1-year deal or what they're going to really do with the quarterback situation next year on the Patriots. But, it's going to be a telling game for his future, like I said, whether it's with them or if it's with another organization, because he didn't have a good game last week against the Broncos team. Yeah, everybody, like we talked about with Trevor Lawrence, they're going to throw picks. They're going to have bad games. But I don't think that's one they really should have dropped. And it's one that they need because now they're 2-3, third in the AFC East, and we're not used to seeing that. Patriots fans aren't used to seeing that. That organization isn't used to that. So he's going to have a big bounce back week this week and, get that team and win. So both of these teams honestly are in need of wins for their respective, reasons, in whether it's their divisions or personally or whatever the case may be. But I think Cam can't drop this game because, 49ers are still depleted. Like they've just been putting games together, putting pieces together.
They're slowly coming back together.
Yeah, but there's, like I said, I would say offensive wise, like it's really just offensive wise, really just their running backs. Debo Samuels came back last week, had a really good game.
Kittle.
And Kittle, 2 weeks ago had a really, really, really strong game. Ever since he came back, it's like he hasn't missed a beat. So
yeah, most definitely.
But like you said, they're slowly coming back to health. But I still think it's one Cam can't drop. So I'm hoping the Pats pull it out. And I never really thought I'd say that, but really either of these teams. I don't really like either of these teams, but I'm hoping that, Cam pulls it out just for his sake. And I see them maybe winning by a last-second field goal. All the games today are going to be really tight, I think. Yeah. At least the big ones. So
that's the same thing for me. I got Pats by 3. They're gonna find a way. I don't know how, but they're gonna find a way to pull it out at home. It's at home. Yeah, it's at home.
Yeah.
So they're gonna find a way. Bill Belichick's he's gonna. Yeah. I don't know, fake punt, something.
he's gonna have something in the works, like you said. Just in the storyline would be, like you said, the Jimmy G Pats thing. So he don't want to drop this one as well. But Steven brought up a good point.
I think Jimmy G will have a good. I was just gonna drop this in real quick. I think he'll have a strong performance in a losing effort.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm not a big Jimmy G guy, so I think he doesn't have that great of a game. Just personally, like I said, I think Belichick maybe just knows him too well, or him being in their system for like what 4 or 5 years, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, something in there. So I think he'll have a plan for him. So I don't know. I'm thinking, like I said, I'm just not a big Jimmy G guy. So I don't know. I think they'll have a plan for him, and hopefully, like I said, the Pats will pull it out somehow, some way. But Steven brought up a good point. Is one thing I didn't include in our conversation for the day. But just real quick, we could talk about the Michael Thomas trade rumors.
I don't know too much about it. I didn't hear too much, so you can really take this one over.
Yeah, I mean, it just started a little bit. I think a little bit yesterday, like towards the evening time. I know I've seen a little bit of Steven's tweets. He said like some teams that may be used to him. There's a lot of wide receiver needy teams, but Philly needs wide receivers. All their receivers are depleted. Houston could use another one, a big time receiver. Who else did he say? Oh, Packers. They could use maybe even use a number 2 with Devontae. I don't think they don't got the I don't know if they have the money or whatever, but that would be scary. Devontae and Michael on the other side. And then it was another wide receiver needy team. I can't think of them right now, but basically I guess there was a few suitors that he was saying.
The Patriots,
the Patriots was the other one. The Patriots.
They don't have one.
Yep, they can definitely use one. So I don't know.
What is this all transpiring from? Gardner Johnson, and
it could be just a mixture of things. He's been injured this year, like you just said, the fights.
But I can't believe they'd be willing to move him. Like, didn't he have
for that
100 catch seasons?
I mean, I don't know if it's because they see that they've been able to play well without him. I don't know, because it's like, and then like he probably is due for a big contract that they probably can't pay soon.
Actually,
no, they extended him. My fault. They extended him a year ago?
Summer, he held out for like a week and they paid him.
Yeah, exactly. My fault. I totally forgot about that. So I'm not too sure. I mean, I guess that's why it's transpiring a little bit. I feel like sometimes all these rumblings are just, just pish posh, because Julio Jones and Matt Ryan were, talking about this past week as well as possibly getting traded before the November 3rd deadline. But I don't know. I really don't know why they would move him. Like I said, other than like I said, maybe just money wise, they're trying to think for the future, or maybe they think
that's
they can play well without him. Maybe they just don't want that money on their books, and they just would rather have a big asset because they can get a first or a second for him for sure.
No, there's no way they give him up without getting a first
or a
Even
second.
though I don't think it's so funny that like the reason why the fight started is because they called him Slant Boy, which is kind of like he's running intermediate routes. So like he's worth the first, but there's receivers that can do more. But he's a possession receiver at his finest, the best.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not. I mean, he's a good. I guess he's good in his own right. I'm not. I don't know. I guess it's because it's either because he plays for the Saints. I don't know if I feel this way if he played for somebody else. But I don't know. I don't really like Michael Thomas like that. He's just too emotional for me. He's too. I don't know if it's big headed or if he's just too like crybaby-ish. Like, what you fighting teammates for? Like, yes, everybody called you Slant Boy.
Everybody knows you run short route.
Yeah, everyone knows you're a short route receiver. You don't have top heavy speed. Like, you can't go over the top on people like that. Like, you're just, you're big, you're a slot receiver, you have good hands, and you can run nice intermediate routes. And typically he typically gets a lot of yards after the catch. Because he is able to provide good separation. But I mean, even being called Slant Boy, like, okay, like your stats, show what you can do.
I mean, like they could talk as much as they want, but you got the numbers to talk. Nobody can really talk to you with the numbers you got.
Exactly. You got paid somehow, some way. They made you a 99 overall receiver on Madden before Julio. Like you got it made. You're fine, bro. Like, don't take it super personal. But I know obviously as a competitor, like sometimes that stuff does get to your head.
Too in the NFL, the ego's at an all-time high. Like, you don't think anybody can talk to you, to be honest.
Exactly. But I don't know. Maybe that's just some of the few things. I don't know if his injury is more detrimental than what they first thought. Because I mean, he's been out since week 2, but one of them, week 1. Okay, because then one of them was because he was getting suspended because of the fight. So I was like, I didn't know if he still was injured or not. But then I saw him and Emmanuel Sanders was out this week because of injury. So I don't know. I feel like I said there's a lot of teams that can use him, like we said before. And who knows? Like I said, November 3rd, we got about a week, or a week and a few days. So we'll see if he gets dealt. I highly doubt it, but if he does, it will be big news, and one team will be pretty happy. Hopefully, a contender will get him. It's more interesting. What team? I guess real quick before we move on, what team would you like to see him with?
I'm gonna go with my last pick, the Patriots. Give Cam some help. Like Cam, I don't know why people think this, but as a quarterback, I don't think Cam has the biggest arm. Like, he puts a lot of muscle into his throws. It's not a lot of natural arm talent. It's him being big and strong part of it, but that fits into what they do. Their intermediate passing game, Michael Thomas would be perfect for that, and they would have to double cover him for the most part. So that will open up people like Harry, Demir Bird for over-the-top shots, stuff like that. And what's his name? Steven just said Baltimore. That could actually I could see Baltimore, but I don't think they'd be willing to give up a first. Because they're not a pass happy team. Like, Mike Thomas is used to getting 10 to 12 targets a game, and there's some games where Lamar might put the ball in the air about 15 times. Not everybody's okay with that, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see. I'll be surprised if they trade him at all, to be honest. But I could see the Patriots for sure.
Yeah, I'd like the Patriots pick. It would be cool to see him in Baltimore as well. Like I said, I saw people photoshopping Julio Jones. Pictures in photoshopping his jersey swap for the Baltimore Ravens as well. They just signed Dez on the practice squad. I mean, I don't know what's really gonna come of that. Probably not too much. It's just probably cool news to hear and see. But I mean, it'd be cool to see him there. But like you just said, I feel like I just talked about it, his ego is a little bit too big. So I feel like he needs to be fed the ball as well, or he's gonna get gruntled and unhappy in a certain system, but maybe not if he's winning. I don't know. Like, I don't know him like that, but I don't know. It would be cool to see him with Baltimore, because then they would truly have a number one receiver, because that's what I've been saying. They really just are missing a solid number one receiver, like a solid guy that can just continue to go to. But they're a run first type team, like you said. So it might be games where Lamar puts the ball in the air 15 times. So I don't really know if he'll go there. I would like to see him personally go. It's funny. I would like to see him go to the Eagles, just because Carson Wentz just needs some type of help. I feel sorry for him at this point.
I miss that part too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nah, you're good.
You said that the Eagles, it's like people talk so much about him, but as a quarterback, I feel like I know what he's dealing with. Like I don't think I've ever had to deal with anything that crazy. Like this man, whole O line, half of his O line, like the projected 5 starters, half of them are gone without Miles Sanders, and then Aguilar. No, I'm tripping. I said Aguilar. Alshon Jeffrey and Sean, they can't stay on the field. Like they had that one game at the beginning of the season. I'm like, this is going to be a deadly combo, him and Deshaun. But then he rarely played last season, and his first game back last week,
Heinz was
out again. Yeah, it's just it's bad, bro. First game, first or second game, Rieger's hurt. He goes on IR. It's like he can't catch a break. And the fact that they're competitive in any game goes to show a lot about the team and the quarterback. I feel like he's trying to force things a little bit more than he should, but that's what people do when they don't really trust those guys. You know?
Exactly, yeah. Just trying to make a play because it's like he out there with practice squad guys. So
practice squad guys, bro. Like some of these guys, they signed them like 2 weeks ago off somebody else's practice squad. Like, you know?
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like you said, it's crazy to see. So him just having somebody solid, number one receiver, someone that can stay healthy, it would be interesting to see because that division is literally up for anybody to grab. Like literally,
Washington, the Giants,
like, they're leading. They're leading and they have a 2-4-1 record. Like anybody can literally grab this. But so if they got that number one receiver, like I said, they got Michael Thomas, they can. I mean, I think it would help for sure. I don't know if they could say it would be head and shoulders above the rest of the division, but the way Carson Wentz has been playing with the guys that he's had, I think inserting a guy like that would definitely increase their chances to win because I think they're already projected to win that division now anyway.
That's a good choice. That was good. I didn't think about Mike Thomas for them, but he would definitely help. Even though Carson likes to air it out, having a reliable receiver you can go to on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, you know he's going to come down with the ball. It's nothing like that.
Exactly. So, and then the last game I want to hit on real quick before we do our fancy standouts was, the Bucks and Raiders. Like I said, it could be another one that's not super duper big, but like I said, the Raiders have been a surprise this year in a lot of ways and regards. Their defense has started to play a lot better. Derek Carr has played a lot better, versus last year. And the Bucks had a surprisingly dominant win last week against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, which I didn't really see coming, especially after they were down 10-0. So, I mean, what do you think is going to be the outcome of this game? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm gonna go Bucks by a touchdown or less. 7 points, 3 points. But I could see the Raiders pulling out an upset. Their offense is explosive, and I know Tampa Bay played well on defense, but I don't know. I feel like John Gruden's an underrated offensive mind. Like he schemes those guys open pretty well, and I feel like Darren Waller will have a big day for one because I don't think I'll take that back. They do have somebody that can cover him, but I just feel
their linebacker core is pretty strong.
Devin White and Alontae David. I had to take that back real quick. I just feel like, Brady and them, they'll be consistent. He has all his weapons. Everybody's healthy for the first time in a minute. He even has Fournette this week. So we'll see. I just feel like they'll come out on top. They'll make a couple more plays. Carr will have a pick or two or a fumble because of the pass rush, and they'll have some short fields and take advantage.
Yeah.
In the Bucks last week, it's kind of hard to go against them because I swore the Packers were going to handle them. I took a small little nap when the score was 10-0, and I woke up and it was 28-10, and
exactly.
The Gruden Bowl.
Yeah. What's up, Paul? Appreciate you for tuning in. Family friend, my dad's friend. I would like to call him my friend as well. Really funny guy. But he says Gruden Bowl, how's AB going to impact this team once he's added to the mix? Perfect timing too, because I was just about to ask you, Thad, what do you think about the AB signing, and how do you think he's going to impact the team?
I
personally don't like it. I was like, you can say you don't like it.
You go first.
I hated it. I thought it was going to Seattle, and I wanted him to go. I wanted him so badly to go to Seattle because like I said, I feel like there he had been able to focus more, focus more on his craft, focus more on football. It wouldn't hear too much of his outlandish like headlines and news or whatever. I think Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll would have been able to keep his ego under wraps, and I feel like it's just the organization that would have been better for him in a sense. Like they still just for the type of culture that they have, just to have his head on straight to finish out his football career. and they're in contention. Not saying that not saying that the Bucks aren't, but they're 5-0. They're in contention to take over the NFC and have that number 1 slot come playoff time. I just thought it was a better situation for him. We saw him working out with Russell in the offseason. So I honestly automatically thought it was gonna, he was gonna go there. I totally forgot he had that little short stint with Tom Brady last year. And Tom Brady's just probably a cool guy that's able to just persuade anybody to pretty much do whatever he wants. He was able to persuade Gronk to come with him to Tampa. Who was to say he wasn't?
Persuaded Arians.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, he was like, nah, that's not going to work out. When they asked about AB, and 8 weeks later, he's on the team. So I'm pretty sure Tom was in his ear.
Exactly. And I also don't know. I'm going to let you go next, obviously. But it's just like, I feel like, all right, too much it gets to a point where too much is just too much. Like everybody in that offense now is used to have touching the ball at some point in their career. Like even LaShawn McCoy, which is the 3rd, 4th running back on the roster right now, he was used to carrying loads heavy. Leonard Fournette, obviously coming from your Jags, was used to carrying loads heavy,
especially last year.
Yeah, like Jameis last year aired it out, so there was enough to go around for Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I don't know why I said Mike Thomas. Yeah, for them both to have 1,000-yard receiving years, but Tom Brady don't got Jameis type arm to me, and I know it don't always matter about arm strength and everything, but their offense to me now, like they're not airing out as much as they did last year. They're more focused. They're giving Ronald Jones a lot of touches, and then they're working off of that, like play action and stuff. Dipping and dunking to those guys. So to me, I think it's just too much is too much. They got too many offensive weapons. Somebody eventually is gonna get a little upset that they're not getting touches, and I don't know if that hurts them in the end, but I just think it's too much, and I think he should have went to Seattle. So
I completely agree, bro. What I was gonna say is pretty much kind of the same thing. I feel like there's not enough. Like there's only one football, and you got 3 number 1 receivers pretty much. You got 2 decent tight ends. You got 2. LaShawn's on the back end of his career because he's over 30. But you got 2 young backs. And has AB really changed? That's what, if AB's really changed, it will work because maybe he loves Tom. He has to be with a quarterback he respects. I know he respects Russ, but everybody respects Tom more than anybody pretty much. And I just feel like, I don't know, BA and Tom will be able to control him because if AB didn't change, how long is it going to last before he lashes out when he's only getting 3 targets?
Exactly.
Like, AB basically let it known like he's jealous of anybody that's eating more than him. Like even with the Juju situation, like unless he changed, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I feel like I don't think it'll get ugly because he respects the coach and the quarterback, so he won't lash out, but I don't see a happy AB. This is not Pittsburgh. He's not catching 12 balls for 160. That's done.
Done for.
So it'll be interesting to see. And I feel like Seattle, like they throw the ball downfield more. Tyler Lockett's a good player, but it was going to be the DK and AB show for the most part. Yeah, like
for sure. And I don't know.
Player, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She should have went to Seattle. That was the best bet.
And that's probably what I'm saying as well. Yeah, I say we'll see. But that's probably why I was saying that as well. Like you just said, just his ego. It's like he wants it to be the AB show. I feel like it's hard.
Like I'm trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't think it's there. I don't think he changed. It's like
we'll see, bro, because I really just don't know who's he gonna go off on. They must have sat down and talked with him before they did this contract.
Something had to be in the works. But then again, like I said, it's also like the rotation of the receivers. I mean, I guess they don't always have to have all 3 in at the same time. Because
Hold on, I got something for you real quick. So like what happens when the game's on the line and they come out in 21 personnel or something like that and AB's not on the field? It's just Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
And then they lose the game too. Like that's the type of stuff that I don't know. Like I said, obviously they're in higher positions than us. They probably know them a little bit better. Like you said, they probably had a sit down conversation. But outside looking in, that's just like situations like that. We can see AB getting upset and then him making the headline the next day over something he said in a press conference, over something he did, anything. It's just literally anything, like you said, especially like if he's not in the game when it's on the line. So I don't know.
This man,
this.
One more thing I just want to add in, just to like let everybody know how bad it was, like how bad AB was, just like character and ego wise. This man was. Then wasn't he like the first receiver in NFL history to have over 1,000 yards in like 7 straight seasons? Mm-hmm. And this man still wasn't satisfied throwing coolers on the field. I'm like, bro, what more do you want? And then when Juju came in, that just made it all worse. He said, they trying to replace me.
Like going crazy on his teammate. Like, bro, y'all are still winning.
Exactly.
Probably gotta be a quiet clause. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they put something in there like that.
Like, you can't talk to me. You can't say anything at all. So I agree. That definitely makes sense. Like I said, both of us have been saying it. Like he can explode at any time if he hasn't changed, and we don't really think he has. But all in all, we'll see. I guess we'll see as early maybe as next week. So
yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun if it clicks. It can be scary. Like it can really be scary.
It'll be fun for me because we got to play them soon. But
I'll secondary.
Yeah, it'll be fun for everybody else, but for me, I won't. I can't. I wouldn't be able to stand to see that. So, not wishing injuries on anybody, but hopefully by then, one of the either Mike Evans or Chris Godwin gets another ankle type injury and they're out. But who knows? But real quick, we'll go on. We'll finish up the show, wrap it up with our fantasy standouts. Me and Dad each going to pick one quarterback, one running back, and one wide receiver. I know games have started already, and I already saw one thing come across my screen that already pissed me off. Odell getting hurt. Take it back to I don't even know how. I guess it was on the interception return. So Baker obviously messing up again. I'm gonna have to either trade or drop Odell because it's just looking ugly at this point. But he got hurt somehow on an interception return. I don't know if he tried to get into play, try to make a tackle, and then just got hurt. But I don't know. It don't look like he's gonna come back to the game. And I had him in a FanDuel, and I had him obviously in my starting lineup in like 2 of my leagues. So I don't know. But we'll move on. Like I said, one quarterback, one wide receiver, one running back, and I'll let you go first.
I should have looked more into the games, but for offense, I'm going to start off. This is kind of a shaky pick. It's not. I don't think everybody will agree with it, but I'm going to go with Kyler tonight. Only because, I just feel like he'll be a total all-around effort from him. If they want to win the game, he'll have to be his best with his arm and his legs. And Jamal Adams isn't playing again. In Seattle, if I'm not, I think I'm correct about this. I know they're bottom 5 in pass defense. They might be the worst, but everybody has a field day on them, and I just see him having a big day. Seattle really has no pass rush or anybody in the secondary, so I can see him having a big day with D-Hop. And he always plays well, if you notice, against better teams, better competition. Like, Kyler always gets up for the big game. So, yeah, what he said, they give up a bunch of yards.
Yeah. He said give up the most yards per game.
Yeah. So, I could see him having a big day for sure.
Yeah. I talked about a little bit, I think yesterday with Steven. And like he just said, Adams is hurt. I just think, I don't know. Like, I don't think he has a bad game. I don't think he has the greatest game. Because I just think Pete Carroll and somehow that defense, like they're gonna have spies from. They have
of course. No way you don't have a spy on Kyler.
Yeah, you got oh my god, they names all you got KJ. It's not KJ Wright, but obviously the other one. Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. Honestly, both of them, stout linebackers, and that's pretty much where their defense is. Their defense is kind of predicated on them. Like you said, secondary has struggled a little bit. They've been getting up a lot of yards. So if he's able to air it out, he's gonna, be able to take advantage against that secondary. He says it's gonna be a Murray versus Mitchell type game. So I don't know. I think he does have a great game though, or a decent game. I don't think they win, and that's probably one of the games we probably should have talked about. I think Seattle still wins by maybe a touchdown, maybe even like 10 points, especially coming off a bye. Then maybe to get healthy and prepare. And I think that's what I said. Yeah, Pete Carroll is gonna have some type of plan put in place, especially having 2 weeks to prepare for Kyler. So I think he still has an okay game, but I don't think he has a game like he had last week for sure.
Yeah, of course. Even though last week he started off slow.
Yeah, he did start off really slow.
He came out strong.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it together towards the end. Was able to win by like 20-something points. But my quarterback stand out, and I don't know because obviously the game is on, and like I said, it might just be me, just being hyped from last week because he had a really, really good game last week, and I think he has to continue to have good games for us to, be in playoff contention. But my quarterback was Matt Ryan. Yeah, Lions defense, they don't really have that great of a pass rush, and their secondary is pretty depleted and sorry as well. And I think they're giving up a bunch of yards as well. They're somewhere at the top of the league, somewhere near the Seahawks. So,
Yeah.
and we had both Julio and Ridley today and Hayden Hurst. So we just had all our weapons. So I was like, all right, he should have another strong game, and it's at home. So I said my quarterback for the week should be, and hopefully he is doing it. I think I just saw Hayden Hurst score a touchdown. So
now the game's on in the background, like literally behind the TV, so I can glance up every now and then. Yeah. But he hasn't done too much. He haven't scored yet.
Dang. Well, I don't know what the thing about Hayden Hurst was, but hopefully he has a big game somehow, some way. I guess if not by now in the second half. So, and I'll go with my running back first, and it's probably not gonna be popular at all, but I personally need him to have a good game, and I think he has an opportunity to have a good game. But Jamal Williams, for just because Aaron Jones is out and they've been run heavy. Last few weeks, even though Devontae's back now, but obviously they're a run heavy team, and they lean on Aaron Jones to do a lot in the passing game and in the running game. And Jamal Williams honestly is capable of doing the same thing. So
against y'all, he had like 9 catches out the backfield.
So he had a really good game against us, and Houston's defense, again, another defense that hasn't been playing really that great. Another team that hasn't been playing that great. So I think he just has ample opportunities to play well. And he's going to have, obviously an increased workload. So I think Jamal Williams should have a big day.
I agree with that one. For me, I'm going to go with, I'm pretty sure this is not a surprising pick. I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara for today. Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas are out. So they already feed him the ball. I don't even know. If I go look at his touches, I'm pretty sure he has at least 20 touches in every game this year. So he's bound to go over 150 yards, all purpose.
Of course.
I just feel like he'll have a big day. Drew Brees' arm is obviously deteriorating, so he's taking a lot of checkdowns, and those checkdowns happen to go to him. And he's one of the best at run after catch, so you know how that goes. Yeah. Hayden Hurst, by the way, what you were talking about, he dropped a touchdown.
Oh, he dropped it. Okay.
Well, but yeah, I'm sticking with Kamara. He's going to have a big day. A lot of checkdowns going to him, a lot of swing routes, and he might break a run or two, so. Goal line, they put in Latavius Murray sometimes, but he's usually their goal line guy. So I can see him having a breakout, well, not even a breakout performance, another Alvin Kamara type performance.
Something that we're used to seeing. So hopefully so, because I think I got him in a FanDuel as well. But wide receiver wise, my standout was I forgot. Let me go back in these notes. Totally forgot who I picked. Oh yeah. I had a hard time choosing. I just felt somebody on Pittsburgh, whether it be Chase Claypool, Juju, or Deontay Johnson. But Chase and Juju really I think Juju had a little bit better of a game last week. I think he might have 2 touchdowns. So I think I picked Juju again this week, just for the reasons that we said earlier. The Titans pass defense isn't that great, and Big Ben has been healthy and he's been playing well. He's been throwing it well. So one of the receivers is going to go off. I just picked Juju, and hopefully it will be him.
Not a bad pick. For me, my fantasy standout for this week was Devontae Adams. I just feel like once I saw, I already thought like Houston doesn't have a number one corner, a shutdown corner, and with I forgot his name that quick. Aaron Jones being out, they already can, air it out when they want to. But I just feel like he'll have a big day. Houston's defense isn't really that good outside of a couple of players and maybe a player or two in the secondary. So I just feel like he'll have a field day, and Aaron will feed him the ball whenever necessary. And he's a goal line, like they
utilize him all the time, everywhere.
Anytime they need to. Like Aaron will check the play if he sees a mismatch, and he's really unguardable, so he can go off at any time. And this is a good matchup with Aaron Jones being out, so they're not going to run as much. Even though they have the rookie from Boston College, AJ Dillon, he hasn't played much this year, but the only way he doesn't have a breakout performance is if they try him, give him a nice little load for today. But Devontae's my guy. He might not have the best day. I'm going to check the stats once we get off, but I can see him having a very
I think him and Aaron got to have a big game, honestly. Like I said, it's against a Houston defense that isn't, that great. And the type of performance they put together last week, I think they just have to have a big game overall.
Yeah, they're going to bounce back. They're hungry the last week.
So I definitely agree with that one for sure. So, all right, that's our fantasy standouts for the week. My guys was Matt Ryan, Jamal Williams, and Juju Smith-Schuster. And then
I had Jeez. Almost forgot that quick. My running back was Kyler Murray, Alvin Kamara, and Devontae Adams.
Yes, sir. So hopefully they do something for us. Last thing before we head out, sign off, we'll just go through our picks real quick. I know some games are already, started or whatever, but we'll say what we think was gonna. We already talked about some of the big ones already, but overall, like I said, you can see that might be.
I can see it.
All right, cool. So we already know Eagles won. Panthers Saints. I guess we could just say.
I picked the Panthers in the upset because of Drew Brees not having his weapons today.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
And the Panthers have unlimited weapons.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Even though they beat us already, I'm still not the highest on Teddy Bridgewater, and he played really, really great against us, honestly. And Mike Davis has been running the ball extremely well. It's like they don't get free, so
he definitely has.
I don't know, but Saints are at home. I think they have fans there. I feel like the Saints are always playing at home. I swear to God, like Saints and Cowboys. I swear those two teams always play at home. I've never seen them play a road game.
Besides the Vegas game, they've been on TV a lot too. That's why you think that they've been like Monday night a lot.
Yeah, but then the games that they're on TV, I guess they are playing at home. But Odell's out for the rest of the game. Jesus Christ. So that goes my fantasy week. But anyway, I'm going with the Saints still. They're at home. They have a little bit of fans, but it still gets loud in there. And Jared Cook is one guy I didn't really talk about, but I feel like he'll be utilized a lot today, especially with Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas out. So Kamara, Jared Cook, and even Traquan Smith a little bit. Like those are enough for Drew Brees to get it done against the Panthers. So I'll go with them. Bills and Jets.
I think we're both gonna agree on this one. The Jets.
I don't think need to talk about it. Bills.
They might play them hard because they get Sam Darnold back, but I have the Jets. I have the Bills by 2 touchdowns. I say 14.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, I know it's already being played, but Browns and Bengals.
You just said Odell's out, so I kind of got to change my pick. I was already kind of high on the Bengals because of how they've been playing, regardless of their outcomes. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Yeah,
like I said, I had Browns yesterday. Now that Odell's out, it kind of just blew my whole day. I don't know. They need to win. If they don't win, it's going to be trouble for them for sure for the rest of the year. Because the Bengals should have beat them that first week too, or came close to beating them that first week they played.
Yeah, the Thursday night game. Yeah, I remember that.
Not first week, second week. Yeah, but I'll go with Browns still, I guess. Cowboys, Washington.
I don't. The way the Cowboys O-line looked last week, and with Washington's front seven in general, I feel like they could give them problems. And the Cowboys are struggling, but they find a way to pull it out because their team is too talented for them to not figure it out.
Yeah, I think
so. Offense, I don't know how they get stopped as much as they do, but I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. They're gonna find a way, but it's gonna be a tough game. I'm gonna definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to watch that one because I don't know. Like you said, that whole division just up for grabs. Like literally each and every week a win can put you in first place, and that's crazy.
What it's been doing. Like that tie that the who had the tie? The Eagles had. That's what has them in first place at the moment.
Yeah. So if the Cowboys win today, they go back to first. So it's like every single game matters for this division. They have to find a way to pull it out. Andy Dalton's capable of pulling it out. Like you can't lose to this Washington team. Packers, Texans. I think we'll probably
Packers. I wouldn't be surprised if Deshaun pulled one out because he's capable of putting on the show at any time. Like last week, they lost to Tennessee, but he definitely put on a show. Like I watched the entire game. He shredded the defense. Mm-hmm. But the Packers, they haven't. I saw a stat that said they hadn't lost consecutive games since 2018. So I don't see that. They're gonna keep that streak going, and they're gonna. I have them by a touchdown, 7 to 10 points.
I think Deshaun always has a big game. Typically, the games he has big games, they end up losing anyway. So and he's playing against better team in general or just a better quarterback. So I think Packers will win. Lions, Falcons, got to go with my Falcons. I don't know what score looking like, but hopefully
7-7. I got y'all as well.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, we should be winning by like 2 touchdowns by now. All right.
Yeah.
Still is in Titans. I think earlier we already did this one, but you said Titans and
in an upset, but this one can go either way. This is one game I would not, if I was in Vegas, I would not be betting on that game.
I said Steelers still. I just think they have I don't know. They'll be prepared. They have the continuity. They got the coaching staff.
They played in a bunch of big games.
Yeah. So I just don't think it's the Titans' time just yet. But they're still obviously, even with a loss, they're 5-1. They'll still be in contention for the 1 or 2 spot in the AFC. Bucks Raiders. I think I said Bucks. I wouldn't be surprised.
Bucks too, yeah, same thing.
Chiefs and Broncos.
I know you're probably surprised why I'm pausing about this one, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. But this one could be close because I saw earlier it's gonna be snowing all game, or it's been snowing all day, so that can change it up. I'm not saying Mahomes can't throw in the snow because we don't know what he can't do yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like the snow will slow them down. And the Broncos have somewhat of a pass rush, even with Von Miller still gone. Their defense is playing somewhat well, so I feel like it'll be a low-scoring game, but the Chiefs pull it out at the end, and I have the Chiefs by 7-10, only because it's snowing. The elements are slowing, the speedsters down.
Exactly. I think I totally understand the pause because it's an in-division game. Typically, in-division game, especially in the AFC, AFC West and NFC West, but they typically play their games are really close all the time anyway. And the Chiefs have been playing teams really close the last few weeks, as a whole, with the Bills and obviously losing to the Raiders. So another in-division game, I can see it being played close. Chiefs should end up being able to pull it out. I guess Le'Veon playing today. I want to see how that turns out, honestly. I know they say they'll give him a few carries. I don't think he would take the whole load away, obviously, from Sinclair, but it'll just be interesting to see how he plays in his first game back and in the snow. Jaguars, Chargers. I feel like I know which way you're gonna lean.
Yep, Chargers by 14 plus.
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
I don't know if they'll beat them by that much, but I'll say Chargers as well. Maybe a touchdown. 49ers, Patriots. I think actually no, who'd you say?
We talked about it, but I said Patriots. I think they're gonna bounce back.
Oh yeah, me too. I said Patriots as well. Seahawks and Cardinals.
This is one we didn't do. This is a tough one. It's in Arizona. There's no fans, which really it doesn't matter. Russ gonna play ball regardless. This is a tough one. I actually have to think about this, but I'm gonna go Seahawks by 3.
Yeah,
I'm saying 3, but hear me out. It could possibly be a blowout. I don't know why, but I just feel like the Seahawks might blow them out.
I feel the same way. It could definitely go either way. It's an either way type game. I think the way the Cardinals played last week, I think it would be more of a closer one. But like I said, I would not be surprised if it ends up being like a 17 to 21 point win by the Seahawks.
Yeah, but we got to see how they deal with D-Hop. This is their first time ever having to go against D-Hop.
But I don't. Is he? I guess he's probably gonna end up playing. But I know he's been hurt throughout.
He's gonna be limited, so that might hurt them. But I think he's gonna thug it out.
Yeah, and then last one, Chicago and Rams.
If this was in Chicago, I'd go with the Bears, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. They look good to me this year. They've had a couple of closer games than they're supposed to have, but Jared Goff looks much more comfortable this year, even on the road, even though he's home, but he just looked more comfortable throwing it in the pocket, even while being pressured. Sometimes he gets happy feet and his mechanics get all out of whack, but so far so good, I think. Yeah, he's trending upwards. He's shown improvement from last year when people thought he was, on the downfall, but I'm going to go Rams by 10.
Okay. I got, like I said, you'll meet him too. He's been on through the show today. Appreciate him for tuning in. But Steven, he's a big Rams guy, and we always get his little takes on just the Rams as a whole. And he brought it to my attention. I didn't even really think about it, but they've been beating up on the NFC East, which we obviously know isn't that great of a division. So, but they did play the Bills pretty close. They were getting blown out, and then ended up being able to fight back to still lose the game by like 4 or something like that. But they also lost last week to a 49ers team that was pretty depleted, to one that they shouldn't have lost to. And Jared didn't look the greatest last week, but I still agree with you. He should bounce back. He should play well. They are at home. And this Bears team has been playing, all their games have literally come down to the last drive. Even though for them, I think that's going to help build their confidence going on later on to the future. But I think if the Rams, if like Aaron Donald, they're obviously going to probably have a plan for him. But if the Rams are able to get pressure on Nick Foles early, and their offense is thrown out of whack early because they already don't have a strong offense, then the Rams should be able to take care of them. because the defense is going to be on the field a lot more, and then Goff has the weapons in order to be able to put this game away fairly early. I think it'll be close, but I still think the Rams win, maybe a touchdown or 10, somewhere between a touchdown and 10 points.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. And I just feel like this year the Bears, their record is only what it is because of their defense. Like Nick Foles had that comeback, but their defense has been. I'm not saying they were how they were in 2018, but they've been pretty strong this year. And I feel like if they can, pressure Nick Foles, Jalen's gonna follow. I'm pretty sure Jalen Ramsey will follow Allen Robinson all games, so they're gonna make them work for it. And I just feel like the Rams will make a couple more plays, on defense. Maybe Aaron Donald gets a strip sack, something like that.
No.
And yeah, that's about it. I think the Rams are the better football team right now. Overall.
Yeah. Even though the Bears, I guess per se have a better record, but I think the Rams, like I said, and they also need it as well. We keep talking about the NFC West, but they got to win in order to keep.
Yeah.
That second, or they're tied for second, I think now.
4-2.
Yeah. So I think they're tied for second with the Cardinals. So they got to continue to win as well to keep pace with that NFC West. So. Yeah, all right. That's it. Yep. That was our picks for the day. Pretty loaded show. Got to talk some college football. Got to talk some of the NFL games. Focus on some of the games today. And yeah, I guess we'll sign out now. Like I said, we got a few games to catch, a few bets we made, so we want to check up on that. Tell them, of course, where they can find you at that, and obviously they'll be seeing you a lot more on here. We're going to be doing a lot more shows, a lot more rebranding, figuring some things out, and putting some more shows and content together for you guys. But let them know where they can find you at that.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at @_underrated, and my Twitter is thatfile4. We're gonna get that name changed soon, but yeah, that's where you can catch me for now.
Yes, sir. And you guys know where to find the podcast at. So What the Game Means to Me, a podcast on Twitter. What the Game Means to Me on Facebook and on Instagram. And then, like I said, it might still be this name. It might change it up a little bit. Like I said, we definitely got some things in the work to bring you guys some more video and content. Regardless, that's where you can find us for now. Check out some of our old shows, some of the things that we're talking about, some things we tweet out, and all that. So appreciate you guys again for tuning in this afternoon. And that does it for another episode of What the Game Means to Me. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you for tuning in.